Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
I can't get this flour out.
What's wrong now?
I need something to get the flour out for these little tiny miniature pancakes.
How about this?
Wow, a tiny spoon. How cute. Where did you get that?
At Blotto's, of course.
Blotto's. We've got all kinds of helpful accessories for the kitchen. Cooking something up on the road? Come check out our portable kits that bakers love. Blotto's. We make daily habits fun.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of Third Shift. It's episode 401, that's right folks. We just recently celebrated 400 episodes of being live on the air, having a great time, throwing episodes, podcasts, whatever you want to call them, your way. But we've got past that. Now we're back to just business as usual, and I am here today, Mr. Eric, of course, with you. And not just me, but the inglorious bastard himself, Mr. Matt's here. He's here. He's excited. He's happy. He can't wait to tell you all about his week. I'm sure he can. What'd you do, Matt? Hey, Matt. There you are. What'd you do this week?
Welcome to the Hot Box, everybody.
Yes.
Welcome to the Sweat Box. Welcome to Sweat World, Sweatland. Heat and disgustingness. You know, it's beautiful. Because in Michigan, we have winter, and it goes way too long, and everybody gets sick of it, and we go, goddamn winter. And then you have spring, which, honestly, we probably had a decent spring, but it feels like it was like 2 weeks. And then, smash cut. It's summer now. Are you ready to sweat? Oh, I guess I am. Guess you're putting the AC unit in the window right now while you're working at home because it's too goddamn hot and you can't focus. And then, right before you record Audacity that you've been using all this time, like 100% all this time. Had no problems with it, no nothing. The only time I had to re-download it was when I moved to the new computer to process faster and get the updates faster and do all the good stuff. Then you're hot and you're sweaty, you're mad. You go, okay, it's time for the show. Great show. Love the show. Awesome show. It's going to be fun. Talking about Buddy about video games. It's going to be great and cool. And Audacity, which you've used forever. Like I said, 400 episodes. It goes, I can't find any audio devices, dude. You don't have a microphone. You don't have speakers. You don't have earbuds. You don't have headphones. And then you download the new one, but it makes a different shortcut. So you go to open it via the normal shortcut, and it opens the old one, so you close it, but it closes the new one which you had open, so now all the settings you made were lost. I'm having an Eric Batten moment. Like, technology has turned against me, and I'm mad and I'm furious, but it was a good week. No, well, it wasn't. It was a mostly good week, because on Friday, we did D&D, and that was fun.
It was.
Rolling dice, having fun, hitting stuff with a flail as a dragon man, seeing Eric shooting frost and stuff. We fought zombies and we freaking destroyed them. We fought little shadow hand creatures, and I got really mad because I got weak, but it was fun.
Well, and it was also great. It was great because our DM goes, yeah, I didn't really think about the fact that you could just kite him around and this wasn't actually going to be really challenging.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. What'd you think, dum-dum?
We got one over on you, idiot.
Yep. Tricked you. You ain't hurting us today. We're just going to kite him through the bog and we're just going to spend time killing him because it's not actually hard. Okay, cool.
They're going to come back to life, though. Oh, you overkilled him. Well, I guess he's dead. Well, one came back. Okay, well, I'll hit it with the flail again. Okay, it's dead for real. Okay, sorry. But he did get us back, or he got me back, because my favorite thing in the world, and you know what I'm talking about. Thump, 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 thump. Hey, Dad, what are you doing? Come on over here, young child. Watch me DM this scene, which has dialogue back and forth where I'm playing 2 or 3 different characters, and the guys are reacting to me. What's going on? What are you doing? Who is that? What's that? Where are they? What's going on? What are you doing? What are you talking about? What are you doing? What's going on? What's happening? Let me fumble with the characters. Let me do this. Let me roll a die on the table. What's going on? What are you doing? What are you talking about? What's going on over there?
And I loved it, folks. Let me just tell you I loved it. Because, of course, I'm a father. James is a father. Matt, nope, single man living his happy life. And I'm just going, and it's usually me. I'm the one checking my phone, kind of making sure I keep track of time because, I don't want to bungle it. I don't want to screw it up. But then I saw this happening, and I instantly knew what was going to happen. And I saw Matt periodically start checking his time, which he never does, mind you, on the D&D nights. But all of a sudden, he's looking at the time, and I go, oh, I got him. It got him. Matt's like, when can we just end this and go home? I'm done.
I was honestly, yes, praying to God that it was like 8:30, and I was like, "Oh, Eric, hey, bro, you gotta go soon.
Don't you gotta
right?
go?
This isn't time to go. Oh, it's like 7. That's not enough. Okay, well, I can tell that I'm getting irritated, so I'm gonna look. Even sometimes it's like I'm just gonna, I got some texts, so I was just looking at my texts and stuff too. But I was like, I gotta look at my watch. I gotta look at my phone. I gotta disengage from this. So if I do have like the Eric face that you've talked about, then people won't see it. And they'll just be like, oh, Matt's just looking down. He's just fiddling with his dice. He's checking his sheet. He's looking at his phone.
He's checking stats, getting ready for the level up.
He's looking around. And it was like that fun moment, too, because we had a silly interaction with Fairies for You. And my guy was like holding back the 2 idiots. And I was like, here's a perfect, like, intimidate the 2 town morons and have a fun dialogue. What's going on? Who's he talking to? What's going on? Who's the dragon? Is that a dragon? Is that a fairy? Is that a lady? Is that an elf? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate moment because that was one of the moments we were supposed to RP and have some fun with.
Yeah.
But we had the obvious extra interaction, which I'm used to, but I was still honestly sad because I was like, I would like to just be immersed in it and have a little fun with it. But of course, with the extra action, a million questions and getting involved, I was like, well, let's just push through. Let's just push through here and, keep going to the next spot.
Yeah. But other than that, it was fun. Like it always is. It's always fun and good to hang out with you guys anyway. Well, even if my guy dies all the time, who cares? I'm hanging out with my buddies. So I had fun. I'm sure you had fun too.
Oh, yeah.
But then the next day was another fun day because I went out to, hey, can you guess? Can you guess where I went out to? I go to 2 places, and one I go to a lot. And that's the Wharton Center. Went out there for production 6, which is the musical about Henry VIII's wives. I went in knowing nothing. Like, I'd seen pictures of the stage and, like, the costumes before, but I had no idea what it was about. And it was amazing. It was incredible. It was like going to, like, an awesome, like, pop... I don't know if I would say, like, pop concert, but that's the best I could think of. Like, if you watched, like, 6 Beyoncés on stage or something like that, doing these giant musical numbers, hyping each other up, doing backgrounds for the other people when it was their solo. You get what I'm saying. Like, every person had a chance to shine in different ways. Funny show, like touching show, heartwarming show, and just phenomenal performers. Just awesome. And it felt great and it felt cool. It's totally stylish and like modern. It's not like you think of like it's the Music Man. No, it was a modern musical with modern kind of music. Lots of fun. Really cool. Enjoyed it a lot. Next day, East Lansing Art Fest. Go there every year. I go there, and sometimes I buy stuff to hang up on the walls. I've done that for years and years and years. But my walls are full. I can't buy more stuff. And I said, I'm going to get something I can use. Got myself a nice new coffee cup, nice new big bowl. They were very expensive because it's, handmade, artisan, whatevers. But they look cool, and I like them, and I'm using them, and it's great. It's always fun to go down there, walk through, see all the kind of crazy stuff that's going on, and then grab some food in downtown East Lansing with no stress, no muss, no fuss. I had some amazing food that day, too. Went to that Jolly Pumpkin Ales brewery that's like right off of Albert Street there. Had like a falafel sandwich. Damn. I think I love falafel because I've had it like 2 other places. Flavorful. Just, wonderful. Anyway, video game front, what have I been doing? Only video game I played is Liza P, and I enjoy that a lot. I played that a lot on Saturday before I went to go see 6. Just having a blast. But it's so weird because I've talked about how I may be playing kind of on easy mode because I have a good weapon, and when I do the bosses, I get the Spirit Ash guy who comes over. But I feel like when I do the stages are hard, especially because sometimes there's like 3 or 4 enemies, and you know how to handle one like perfectly, and 2 of that same enemy type it's easy peasy, it's fine. But then like the 3rd weird enemy type comes in, you're like, okay, my mind is paced for these guys, but you're coming in with crazy stuff, or you're coming in with like big heavy attacks, and I'm focused on you, but then these bad guys are here. And it's not like annoying, like get me mad and just go, oh, this game. But that's hard. Like getting through the stages is hard. And every time I get to a bonfire or a stargazer, I go, thank God. Oh, whew. Save, heal up, go back, level up, do the stuff. But then get to a boss, and I just have a fun time. Like, I fight him, I take 2 or 3 times to fight him. It's not like I beat him first time all the time. But I beat him and I go, cool. That was easy and fun. And you go back into the stage and I go, oh, brother, oh, no. oh, look at this weird, crazy puppet. It's got creepy strands, and oh, God, it does this thing. So it's this weird dichotomy. Like, you feel like you should roll through the enemies and then get to the boss and start bashing your head. But sometimes it's like, oh, God, the enemies, I make it halfway through or like 3/4 of the way through, and I know there's a stargazer like around the corner and down, probably. But what if there's a mini-boss? Because sometimes there's been a mini-boss, and I get there and I go, oh, God. Last play session was great because it was that case. I had no healing items left and half health. And I was like, okay, well, there's a door here that's locked. So I need a key. This door's to the left. So to the right has got to be where the key's from. But it's a big open room. And I went, please, God, just be empty. Have no doors, just be empty. Walk in. I see 2 paths to the right and left inside of the room. And I go, okay, please just be empty so I can go to the path. Thunk. Down comes this wild, like, wrestler dude. I'm like, oh, my God. I'm backpedaling. I'm dodging. I'm parrying things. He's picking me up and throwing me across the room. Oh, it was wild. Scraped by just the skin of my teeth. It was beautiful. And then went and got the Stargazer and did the boss and had a lot of fun. So that game's a lot of fun. I should play it more, but I haven't been playing it a lot more because the last few nights I got on this app called Whatnot. And if you know that, it's like this app where you can stream from your phone and you can sell stuff. And a video game store I know of in Florida, which I found on YouTube, they do a stream. Watched the streams, bought some stuff, real professional style. Like, okay, but what else is here? He only does a stream once a week. I found the stream where they have boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes, and I don't know how they get the stuff of just random Japanese games. And they have a little sticker up that just says, all random, all untested, all Japanese. And they're just popping it out. Like, oh, look. This box, it's all Super Famicom stuff. Check this out. And then, there's some sports games and horse games and whatever. But the last few days, here's a nice, beautiful boxed copy. Complete in box, not new, still used. Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy V, Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy IV, Mother 2. Even if these, didn't work, and I don't have a Famicom to play them in, but, put that up on a shelf. And especially because this channel that I'm watching, they start all their auctions at $2. So if you can get a boxed Chrono Trigger that looks nice and beautiful, and like I said, even if it doesn't play, just put it on your shelf for $30-$35. How can you not do that? My one regret, I bought a bunch of stuff the first night because I was excited. This was cool. I was going to bed. Hey, what's this? What's this game called? It's called Police Knots. What's that? Put that up there. It was either the Saturn or the PlayStation version. I went, Police Knots, the Hideo Kojima game that only came out in Japan. All right, bid. $10, $20, $30. Uh-oh, $40. Uh-oh, $50. $59. All right, I better not. Sold to whoever. Instant regret. I should have put $100 as the maximum bid because it increases, Mm-hmm. I should have done it. So now I watch every day. And I'm like, all right, I've got to save money now. Got to be cool. Got to cool down. But I'm watching to see if another goddamn Police Knots comes up. And I'm kicking myself right now to this because I would have had it. Boom. I got this disk drive here. I can put in my laptop that I can actually literally play it just with an emulator and have the literal disc. And oh, man. But that's been cool because, we go around the used game stores here. What is it? It's all sports games. There's nothing cool. You maybe find a cool thing 1 out of 20 times you go there. Mm-hmm. Went on this, nothing but cool stuff. And granted, a lot of it sometimes is just sports games, junk games I don't know. But seeing all of those, I was like, man, collector, man, go. What about you, Eric? What you been doing this week?
Well, by gosh golly, in the real life, haven't done nothing except for the D&D, which we already talked about. Other than that, just hanging out, living life. Like you said, it's getting real hot here, so trying to adjust, trying to get the lifestyle going with the heat, with all that, and it's just like you said. We all wanted winter to be over, but then it was over, and now I'm sad. Now I instantly regret wishing we had summertime because I hate the heat, most of all. But I love the green. I love the life, the vibrancy of everything. So, I don't know. I guess I just got to deal with it. So here we are in a basement where I'm sweating buckets, hotter than all hell, even though I'm in a basement. It's not fair. I don't appreciate it. The only 2 things I did this week is 1, watch anime. All right, the spring season is in full kilt. We got all sorts of stuff out. I'm out there just watching it all, watching some shows I don't even like, just to watch, because whatever. I'll probably kick off of them, but there's a whole bunch I do like. So I'm really happy that the season's going, but I feel like this season, and I won't stretch it out, but I'll just say this season's weird. Like, I feel like most seasons it's pretty predictable. Every, Friday night or Saturday, you get a big drop, and then usually like a Tuesday or so, you get a big drop. This one's, it's all over. Like every single show, one's Monday, one's Tuesday, one's Wednesday, 2 or Thursday, 2 or Sunday, Friday or Saturday. So I don't even know what I'm going to get on a daily basis. Every day I'm like, all right, well, what's on Crunchyroll? Today, only the one. Tomorrow, 4 of them are updated. Yeah. So this season's pretty strange to me. Doesn't matter. Still enjoying it. The only game I played was Stellar Blade. And I'm in it. I've already told you guys I love this game. I'm having such a good time. Just recently, the other night and 2 nights before that, I'm in there and we're moving on to the next area. Big boss fight, a big dungeon occurred, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. They do sometimes go, hey, you're about to enter this area. You got to get all the way through it. And you're like, okay, sure. Big old arena going on, upgrades everywhere, boss fight, beat the hell out of it. No problem whatsoever. Just laughing, having a good time. And like you said, still getting that cool thing though, where like new enemies appear. I don't know what the hell they do. So they're jacking me up. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to dodge, what I'm supposed to parry, die a couple times. But once I got it, no, you can't stop me now. Now I can deal with like 3 of you at a time. I'm just flipping around, being crazy and agile, going nuts. I'm changing costumes like every 30, 40 minutes just because, why not? I got like 8 of them, 9 of them. I'm making her look crazy cool, crazy this, crazy that. Whatever. I'm just having fun. And I'll tell you, everybody always like kind of talks about Stellar Blade, like being that lost PS2, PS3 game. And it's exactly what it is. It's like playing an actual just regular video game and having fun. It's a video game. It knows it's a video game. It's doing the thing in an action, adventure game that it would do. It isn't trying to tell you some crazy story that you got a narrative that you have to pay super close attention to and learn something from. But I will say the story, as I've already told you, is really cool and is fun. And I wish more games would do it. That post-apocalyptic, world is just, I don't know. It vibes with me, which is weird because I should love Fallout, but I never got into it just because of reasons I've told you guys about a million times. However, the show, I'm head over heels in love with. So that just reaffirms that I do love that kind of vibe, that world. And Stellar Blade also shows that I do. Man, I can't wait to see what happens next. I'm hoping to actually play it tonight. And that's a sign to you because me and Matt always go through our funks and just, if a game ain't really hitting, we still may enjoy it, but we kind of still come off of it. But no, when I'm actually itching to play something, it did a very good job of being fantastic. And that's what Stellar Blade did. So, yeah, I'm in it. I'm having fun. Other than that, man, it's super short, man. Sorry, I don't got nothing. I didn't do nothing. I don't know.
Well, it's okay because I went super long, but I do think it's funny or interesting that both of us have these other big games we need to play, but the only ones we want to play are Souls-like games, in which your characters, you have a million like dress-up options. But whenever I think of Liza P before this, the character is wearing the one outfit. You only ever see the one outfit, or the one where he doesn't have the jacket, he's got the shirt. But my guy, he looked like Guan Yu to start with. Now I've got like this bird mask and like this crazy like ruffly suit. And this is a spoiler, which you never see in any of the other stuff. Mm-hmm. So like everything's different. My guy is like totally different. I'm going to play dress up too. Look at this. Look at this. All these stalkers you kill in the game, they give you their cool masks. You got like these animal masks. Like I was a little donkey dude to start with. It's crazy. It's fun. So Souls-like, playing dress up. That's you and me, brother. That's our niche. We're the dress up Souls-like boys,
Hey, I dig it. If we're having fun doing it, I don't even care. Don't judge us.
Hell yeah.
We can dress up whatever we want and have a great time playing our Souls-like games.
But if you want something that's totally different from a Souls-like, something that's totally different graphically, totally different stylistically, I'm going to tell you about Rakugaki, which drops today as we're recording this, the 25th of May, developed by Wabi Sabi Games and published by Gearbox Publishing, which I got to get into in just a second, but this is only for PC right now. It's for Steam. I got to get back into that Gearbox Publishing, because this is like the second game that's come out from Gearbox Publishing after they've gone away. But did they go away? And I had to research it. I looked. And like we had talked about Gearbox San Francisco getting shuttered, but apparently all they did was change their name to like Arc Games, and they're still under Embracer. So what is Gearbox publishing game? What is this? What is going on? I have no idea. It's weird. It's strange. I didn't even know about this Art Games thing, but apparently there's a million articles about it. So I didn't do my due diligence there. But Rakugaki, this is the game that was announced and revealed on one of these gaming shows we watched not too long ago, and I don't think either of us talked about it at all because the reveal trailer was just a CG trailer going, hey, I'm in this world, and the Rakugaki are going to save it. Check it out. It's kind of like a cyberpunk future where this guy has come to town, and he's used these screens to enslave everybody. They're kind of just turned into mindless drones. You and your crew are these artists, graffiti artists, and you want to take back the town. So you're going through with graffiti actions and graffiti powers. You're graffitiing over these screens, and then they explode into this colorful giant thing. You're beating up robots. You're rescuing the citizens. It looks like a lot of fun. And I can't believe I didn't know that this was coming out or that this was a lot of fun. Like, I searched for video reviews of it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I searched for just the game's name on YouTube. There's the reveal trailer. There's like a gameplay trailer. And there's a preview from Noisy Pixel. So I watched that because that had, a bunch of gameplay afterwards. And basically, like I said, it's a cyberpunk future, but everything's kind of droned out. It's kind of not lost all its color, but it's machinery. It's all blank. It's gray and brown and all this stuff. And you as this bright colored character, you're using your graffiti powers. And one of the cool things you can do is you can kind of surf on graffiti. Like she'll pull out a spray paint can and just go psh in front of her. And it's kind of like an Iceman slide. But as you're doing that, you're going through the stage, you're leaving this trail of color through the stage. When you attack, it does this blue paint swish in front of you. But that goes whoosh, blue paint swish on the ground. When you do a double jump and like hover in the air, you shoot green spray paint down. And that leaves this green spray stain down on the ground. When you cover up those screens, it explodes into color like this graffiti splash color like Street Fighter 6 style. So as you're going through these kind of boring looking stages, because they're designed to be boring looking, you can turn around and look and see the literal impact you had on the world in this case. So I think that's super cool. That Iceman slide you're doing, it's kind of fast paced. There's time trials. There's all kinds of stuff. There's combat trials in here. So once the video reviews come out and you can see more action of this game in action, definitely check it out. It looks really cool. Like, I'm surprised I didn't know more about this. It has like a Jet Set Radio or Bomb Rush Cyberpunk type of style to it. But I just love the graffiti versus the man, but you literally see the effects of it on the stage. You can turn around and see you brought color back to this world, and I think that's really cool. So go check out Rakugaki. It may be the last game from Gearbox Publishing. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with that. But the game looks cool, so check it out.
Yeah, who the hell knows what's going on? I thought they were gone too. Maybe not. Maybe they'll be back again. I don't know. Maybe Gearbox under 2K or whatever gets a whole nother unit that's still Gearbox Publishing. Who knows? We'll keep you updated if we can figure it out in the future. But for now, something you need to figure out your mind. You got to get your mind right. You got to figure out what's going on in your brain, and you got to come to terms with it. And you can do that by playing Senua Saga Hellblade 2, all right? Now, if you don't know, it's third person, weird kind of, interactive adventure type game. You're Senua. And the first one, a lot of stuff happens. Your love of your life's dead, and you're going to hell to figure out what happened. A lot of stuff happened. Voices in your head, very cinematic, visuals insane. You kind of figure out what's going on. Guess what? Now you come to part 2. Part 2, you've dealt with, I think it's Dylan was his name or something like that. You've come to terms with the fact that he is dead and gone, but you still have unfinished business. And then, boom, the game starts. Like I said, it's third person, and you are going through just these crazy landscapes, fighting Vikings, creatures of the unknown, and all the while the voices in your head are telling you this and that, what's real, what's not, what you should be doing, warning you of everything and all the things. Basically, Senua is having a severe case of psychosis, and you're just trying to figure out what's real, what's not. And spoiler alert, who the hell knows? You'll have to play to find out. So I didn't spoil anything. Ha ha! And I actually do know what's happening because I just watched an entire walkthrough of it. But I will tell you this. Visually, it's done on Unreal Engine 5. It's gorgeous. It is absolutely stunning to look at. It's crazy. The graphics at this is Xbox, but I'll mind you, if Xbox can do it, I'm sure PS5 can do it. The graphics that it's capable of and not doing, it's nuts. This game, if you want to see what these systems can do, go watch this game or play this damn game because it'll show you. And then, your ears, folks, your ears. That's what this game's all about. It even tells you in the very intro, put on a headset, get it all up where it's going from, both things. You can do the whole 3D, fake 3D surround sound type stuff. And you'll notice it immediately when the voices start whispering and it's echoing around your head and the bad guys are coming from a very particular direction, very visceral, very, very, very in your face, and you know it. The combat, everybody, complained about the combat in 1 being very clunky, very basic. From all the reviews I've read, it's way more intimate now. Like, you'll feel all the clunks, you'll feel all the clanks. You really get in there and it gives you that guttural feel. However, I hear it's still pretty simple. It's pretty hit, dodge, parry. That's it. A couple combo moves. But at least they did, from what I hear in an interview, hundreds and hundreds of mocaps for this thing. So the combat's very fluid and looks really good. And like I said, gives you that good, actual combat feel to it. So I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt. From what I hear, it's not upgraded to where you're actually having fun in combat, but you do at least feel like it's realer. So that's a plus.
And one thing I wanted to jump in on, because I watched a review of it too, in case we were just going to talk about the same game. What I thought was really cool was it's mostly just one-on-one combat. You're not fighting two people at the same time, but they have these cinematic transitions where you're focused on this one guy, and as you're going in to do the finisher on him, you see the other guy run up. So when your blade is going in, he jumps up, kicks you off of this other dude, and now you're fighting him instead. And I saw 2 or 3 or 4 of those, and like you said, they were all different, all mocap different, all different animations. It wasn't just, here he comes, he's going to do the kick, and she rolls. It looked really cool, just in your face and getting it,
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. But like I said, I never played the first one. It was always one I meant to go to, but I didn't. So I just got to go off with what I hear. I just want to let you all know that while more intimate, I feel like, from what I hear, it's the same kind of combat. Nothing extreme. You're not going to get your next action, Devil May Cry, Dark Souls type adventure. You're not getting that. And then, of course, story-wise, everyone says pretty damn good. You're going to get more of what's going on with Senua, figuring out what's in her head, what's real, what's not real. You're going to get some of those answers. You're not going to get all the answers because apparently there's going to be a third one, spoiler alert. But overall, not too shabby. So story not so bad. Combat, I don't know. It depends on what you're looking for. And then last but not least, the puzzles in this game apparently are really easy. In 1, they used a lot of puzzles where you would see a relic, you'd see its shape, and then you'd have to match it with something out in the real life. But in this one, apparently, once again, I can't say I did it myself, but apparently if you even get close to what it was, it just auto does it for you. So they're, from what I hear, very simple. So if you want something complicated, you're wanting cocoon type puzzles or braid type stuff, you're not going to get it here. This is more just, hey, here's a stopping point to make you look around, think for a couple seconds to move on with the story. But if you're looking for a narrative adventure, I think this is going to the T, be what you want, and you're going to have a great time with it. Plus, like I said, with all the other pluses visually, audio, etc., I'm interested. I've always been interested. Hopefully you are too. It's on PC, Xbox, which, everybody's got that, right? Nobody doesn't have a PC that can play a game of that caliber, right? Come on. Go check it out.
Well, that is why you get an Xbox, and this is why you get something like Game Pass. Because Senua Saga Hellblade 2 is available on Game Pass. You don't even have to buy it. And also available on Game Pass this week is a game called Galacticare, which, if you know 2 Point Hospital, that's that, but in space. So you're treating aliens with wacky diseases, having a bunch of fun. And then there's a game called Hauntee, which I knew nothing about. I was looking it up as Eric was talking earlier in the episode. It's described as a puzzler and twin-stick shooter that's just as pretty to discover as it is to look at. That sounds good. I like puzzles and I like twin-stick shooters, and that's pretty cool. And another game that is free, but maybe not for longer as you're hearing this, unless I drop it tonight and you're listening to it that night, The Epic Game. There was a mystery game last week, and we talked about how it was probably a pretty good game. It was Dragon Age Inquisition's Game of the Year edition. So get that if you still can, and if not, it'll be another mystery game. Thanks a lot, Epic. You suck. I don't like it.
Hey, on a good note, that means it's going to be another pretty good dang game. And guess what? Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year Edition was a damn good game. So pick it up. I'm sure you can't because you're probably listening to this too late. But that mystery game, I bet you is a pretty damn good game. So get it. Now, of course, if you have Amazon Prime, you can go over there and get one last free game for the month. And that's Spirits of Mystery Whisper of the Past, done by, I'm confused here. I don't know if it was made by Hopa or if Hopa was like an explanation of what the hell it was. I don't know. I didn't do my due diligence on that part.
I was going to be so mad at you because you put in Spirits of Mystery, Whisper of the Past, and then Hopa right afterwards. So I'm like, oh, that's 2 games. So I Googled to find out what Hopa was, and it came up with Hidden Object Games, parentheses Hopa. And I went, so is it a game? Is it a genre?
I didn't know.
Yeah, I went, Eric was reading Game Informer and expanded his mind, and he learned this new genre name called Hopa, and he put it in here thinking I was cool, and I wasted my goddamn time on here.
I know. I just saw Hopa next to it. I went, I don't know what that is. Maybe I'll look it up. Maybe I won't. You know what I did instead, though? I went and watched a little gameplay of the game, and it's exactly that. It's a hidden object adventure type game, point-and-click adventure mixed with hidden objects, and then it's actually kind of neat. You know, it looks a little hokey here and there, but I'll give it this. Not only do you obviously get the typical, here's a room, find the hidden things to open the doors and figure out the puzzles, but once in a while, it would like click into like a random little like overhead adventure game where you're like going through a labyrinth and clicking the point arrows of which way you want to go through it. So I feel like, it's doing a little something. It's spicing it up, having a little fun with it. And there was a few playthroughs on YouTube, so there's somebody who likes this game out there.
I looked it up too, and they've kidnapped your mother and your aunt and whatever. And I went, okay, it's one of those the ads you see on Instagram where it's like, oh, help your grandma rebuild the house, and she's got secrets. So I clicked on to search for the game, and there was like a ghost creature like holding a creepy dagger up to your aunt. And I went, whoa, this is actually like an actual story with monsters and things. So.
Oh yeah, it goes all out. There was like one scene where it might have been one of your aunts. She was like doing a spell, burning a house down while she was floating in the air. I was like, well, this is wild. This is out of control. So if you want some out of control Hopa adventure, you know what? Amazon Prime has you covered.
And I will never be able to say it was just a Hopa. And people are like, what the hell is a Hopa? What are they talking about? I missed this episode right now where they figured it out and then I figured it out. But another thing that's not free, so it's not in the free game section, but it's in the games you should be getting section. I went on Humble Bundle because I heard they got a sweet bundle called the Brutal Beat 'em Ups Bundle. And I went, okay, what's this? What's the minimum? What's the maximum? What's the this? What's the that's? If you drop $20 for this Brutal Beat 'em Ups Bundle, I will read out the games you will get right now. It is Battletoads, the most recent Battletoads, that cartoony one. Pretty cool. It's Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragons, the pixel art recent Double Dragon game. Pretty cool. I talked about it on a release once. You get Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill Slaps and Beans. Bro, that's a pixel art beat 'em up. You'll be slapping and you'll be beansing. And then you'll get Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill Slaps and Beans too.
Wow.
So more slaps and more beansins.
More beans.
In a pixel art beat 'em up style. But then, because I know almost none of those, Eric's like, okay, that's kind of cool, but kind of not. You get River City Girls.
Oh, there it is.
That's an older game, but pretty good game. You also get River City Girls Zero, which is the older school, unreleased one that they brought out. Pretty cool, pretty neat. You also get River City Girls 2. All that for $20, which is half the price of River City Girls 2 alone. So I got on it. I'm downloading it to my Steam Deck. So, I mean, those are perfect. Like pixel art beat 'em ups on a Steam Deck, awesome. You need to download it right after this. You need to get in your little cookie jar fund.
Oh, hang on. Hey, bro, is that on Epic Game Store?
No.
Because I only use Epic. You can get that Steam and throw it in a trash can.
Get out of here with you. Free games is free game. Well, essentially free games. So you got to get on it. Get in your cookie jar, pull out your $20, get it right after here, and get some River City Girls 2. And we'll probably never play together, but you can at least play it and have some fun with it. And everybody else can too. It's a great deal. Congratulations. You're welcome. Also, there's like a Metroidvania bundle. There's like a retro redone shooters bundle, like Doom 64 is in there, like the Turok remakes are in there, so you should probably check that one out too. All kinds of bundles going on like all the time, but that Brutal Beat 'em Ups bundle, that sounded good to me, it should sound good to you too.
That does sound good. You know, the thing that does possibly sound good, Matt, is the fact that, according to the Wall Street Journal, they have said that Microsoft is reportedly going to be launching this year's Call of Duty on the Xbox Game Pass, which that's been a discussion here and there ever since the Activision was brought up way back in the day. So we've heard, of course, rumors and talked about it extensively. Well, not maybe us, but others have, whether or not Microsoft will put Call of Duty on the Game Pass. Now, I don't know. Maybe I thought differently before, but I feel like I thought it was a no-brainer. They have to put it on Game Pass. But then there was also these rumors going around that they might come out with a new tier of Game Pass to accommodate this. What do you think? I'm not huge in the Game Pass. I do currently have it, and I've had it periodically throughout the past, but you're more the Xbox person. How do you think it's going to fare? Because Wall Street wouldn't say that unless that part was true. So I 100% do believe this Call of Duty coming up is going to be on Game Pass. Do you think if they release a new pricing tier that includes Call of Duty and then, of course, one that doesn't, or, whatever caliber game they deem Call of Duty type, do you think that'll work out well, or do you think people will be too angry and, kind of revolt against it, etc.?
Well, first, I think we did talk about it, but it was like a year ago when all this had first started.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as long as the tier is less cumulatively than you would have paid for a brand new Call of Duty, how could anybody be mad about it? If overall it increases your prices by $40 like for the year or something, okay, now you have access to the brand new Call of Duty. Boom. Like, you can't get mad at that. You can go, oh, my Game Pass is going up. But as long as you're playing Call of Duty, you're actually saving money.
Mm-hmm.
If it went up to just under the price of a new Call of Duty, you can't complain.
Well, what's it per month now?
I think it's 15. I think.
Okay. So as of now, that still doesn't work just for the game itself, because every year is a new Call of Duty. So you got around about 11 to 12 months. So you got to get 11, 12 months to equal the price of Call of Duty to make sense. So even with the current iteration, that wouldn't add up. So people who only want Call of Duty wouldn't make it. So you'd have to include like the battle passes or something to make up for that.
But what I mean is, you have Call of Duty Game Pass, so that is.
Oh, okay. I see what you're
it's
saying.
only expedite. It would
like
only
a
be
lower
like,
tier.
It'd only be like $20 a month, but that would make the math doesn't add up. But it would make up to like 50 or 60 extra bucks a year. So you're getting for free what you would have paid $70 for by paying an extra $50 per year. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But what I think they really need to do is they continue to do it where you can download just the single player or just the zombies or just the multiplayer. What they need to do is, hey, Call of Duty is now on Game Pass. Check it out, bros. Single player only. There you go. And then, you can add on zombies and multiplayer for $40. Boom. Then they're getting the chunks of money from people who want it, and they're continuing the Game Pass tradition of just, hey, you can play it for free, but you're playing the part that, well, the only part I'd be really interested in, but the part that nobody else is interested in. You get it, and you can experience Call of Duty, and you can have a Call of Duty fun time and the big set-piece action things. But if you want to continue, then you do get the big drop in the bucket that they'd be missing out on if it was just on regular-ass Game Pass. You'd be losing out on $70 from multi-millions of people. But now you'd at least get $40 from those multi-millions of people. And they'd probably want to be on Game Pass anyway to be getting all the other benefits and stuff. So you you'll build that, but you have like 2 or 3 different bricks. Or maybe each add-on, zombies is $30 and multiplayer is $30. So there's your little tower you've made out of these little Call of Duty bricks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking as well, except for I was thinking 3 bricks, the cheapest being if you just want Call of Duty, and then maybe just to kind of goat you into it so you don't think you're wasting your money, because there's no way they can make it to where 12 months is going to be cheaper than the $60 it costs you to go buy Call of Duty. To say, hey, you also have access to this tier of games. So you'll be able to play some games from the Game Pass catalog as well as Call of Duty. So that'd be just for the Call of Duty fiends. And then you'd have your typical Game Pass, which I think would be, like you said, Call of Duty single players there. And, of course, all the catalog that you've ever known and would know. And then the premium tier is you get the battle passes, you get, all the online multiplayer stuff, plus all the Xbox games. You get the entire kit and caboodle for whatever the new premium price would be.
That makes so much sense, because you can have just the Call of Duty Game Pass. You can have call it like Game Pass Operator Pass or something, where you get that, and you get a couple little bits and bones here.
Little treats.
You get regular Game Pass, and then you get Game Pass Ultimate plus Operator, which would get you
all of it,
the added battle passes and everything. So you'd have 3 levels. You'd have one lower level, one middle, one higher. That makes sense. I like that.
That's kind of where I was going with it, and that's what I was thinking with it. And I think that would work, just because if you're just a casual, you don't care about Call of Duty, nothing's really going to change for you. But if you do, then now you've got 2 different tiers to choose from. You can stay where you are, play single player, well, or hey, you're going to have to take that bite, because guess what? It ain't no surprise Game Pass hasn't been working financially. Microsoft has to do something. And if you want to support them, you're going to have to go with them. Hike up to the premium tier, which gets you everything. Or, like I said, if you're just here for Call of Duty, and of course Xbox is like, hey, it's ours, now you got an option too to get in there with the Battle Pass and Call of Duty with a couple treats of Game Pass games here and there, depending on what they are. I don't know how they figure it out, but I just think it'd work. I think that's probably their best bet going forward without pissing everybody off, because inevitably no one's going to be happy about, oh, I had Game Pass all these years and Call of Duty, now all of a sudden I have to pay $29.99 a month. That's BS. I don't even care about this stupid first-person game for these idiots. The anti-Call of Duty folks would just be mad about it, because they would blame Call of Duty for the entire thing.
Or, I just want to buy Call of Duty in one go. Why do I have to sign up for a subscription service for it? Yeah. Well, just go on Twitter and say that stuff. That's fine. Get out of my face.
So hopefully they can figure that out. Hopefully they're thinking ahead, because Xbox is definitely in a spot right now where they need wins. They need to put something forward there and get everybody on board, especially since Microsoft is paying such close attention to them now. That's not good. So I just really want them to keep in there, just because I don't even play Xbox much, but competition's good. You need somebody out there kicking butt, taking names, making Sony make good moves instead of getting arrogant and becoming a bunch of douchebags who don't care about the player base.
Agreed. I want everybody to do well.
Yes.
Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo
too,
Steam,
but Nintendo does
Epic.
whatever they want. So it's like they're not in it because they don't care. They're doing what Nintendo does.
But because nobody ever thinks about them, then you stop thinking about them and you go, well, who knows? My little sister doesn't even know what Nintendo means anymore. So we've talked about it a million times. It's fine.
Yeah. Now, with that little bit out of the way, let me tell you, something dropped this week. I wasn't expecting it. Matt wasn't expecting it. Nobody was. It came out of the blue, fiery and hot, and it was a brand new Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree trailer. It was 3 minutes long. It's a long, awesome trailer. So, of course, I watched it. I'm sure Matt watched it. What'd you think, Matt? Does it get you pumped up more than you were? How do you feel?
It's kind of weird, because it does get me pumped, because when I see the sights of the lands between, even though it's a different area and whatever, it gets me hyped for those Elden Ring times that we had. Even we had a few times together, and then separately we had a bunch of times. And it got me excited. But then they went, oh man, look, Mikola, he's taking over here, and the Grace of Gold, and habba-da-babba-da-boo. And I went, how can you have a story trailer for a game that got no dang story? Get out of here. Get out of here. But the only other thing that did make me, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to play it. I've heard other podcasts say that they've heard that they think like this DLC is the size of the actual overworld. So if that's the case, I'm flipping excited. But it did make me realize again, and I've said this to you off air. No, I've said it on air maybe too. The difference between like Liza P and Elden Ring. Because I'm watching this stuff, I'm like, oh, look, there's all these fantastic creatures. Oh, they're all dead and mutilated, and there's bodies, and everybody's on fire, and everything's dead and gone,
Bloody.
and wrecked and burned and disgusting. Everything not like revolting, disgusting, but you know what I mean. Like everything's dour
Twisted.
and down.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm just like, man, when I run around Liza P, I still see beautiful places, and I just attack weird robots. It's fine. It's not like. It doesn't have like that downer mood. It says that downer mood, but obviously that works for the FromSoft game. So I'm very excited, but it kind of made me chuckle inside. Just like, oh man, I don't want to see like this weird thing impaled on a spike while the whole world burns. That sucks. That's sad.
Yeah, I give you that. It's Elden Ring for sure. It's got that just twisted, messed up vibe going. Everything's wrong. Nothing's right. Every character's just messed up in the brain, doing the strangest things you could possibly imagine. And I was also in agreement with it. They're like, Nikki once blessed the world. And I'm like, you never told me who that is. You didn't say, oh, here's the snake guy. Remember the snake guy? Metzelar? Blah, blah, blah. Nope. I know what he looks like, but I don't know who you're talking about. Why is he here at the beginning of times? He's been around for that long? I didn't know that. How am I supposed to know that? You never told me that. I'd have probably had to go read some tome in the archaic world of archaics and then had to eat 2 goblins to figure that out. I don't know.
But you can't even read a book because there's like no books in Elden Ring. You got to
books.
read the description on a ring that you don't even use because yours is a
garbage.
defense ring, which you don't use, and mine's a spell ring, so I'm never going to read that thing. I don't know, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, so like it was building up these characters, in which I just kept going, I don't know who that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But it was gorgeous. It was utterly gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it immediately got me excited just because, hey, I don't know much about this world, but I know it's twisted, it's messed up, it's crazy, and it's going to be full of adventure, full of fun, full of just places and random things to find. And that I'm excited about. But then I went, but Eric, didn't they say like DLCs typical for Rockstar were like 20 times harder than the actual games? Then I was instantly not excited again, which I already talked about. I went, oh man, Eric, you're getting hyped for nothing because you're going to get mad and you're going to quit. No, I'm not. It's going to be great. Get excited. Get pumped. I can't wait. Look at, they're showing you like the new Grace fire, the little Grace places, you know, with the cool little light was sticking up and little crescent moon there. And it was like, have your adventurers come with you. And I'm like, why is your adventurers in your camp with you? Do you get to have a partner at all times this time around? What's up with that? I don't know. That sounds really cool if that's the case.
Like you said, I am pumped for it. I can't wait to get back to it. And a different feel because Lies of P is very linear. The best thing about Elden Ring was just go wherever. So as long as you can still go wherever in this DLC, I'll be having a blast. But I am terrified because I got pretty good at Elden Ring by the end, but I have no idea how to play that game anymore. I guarantee I don't. Like I remember like rolling and doing jump attacks and all these cool things. I'm not going to know the timings for that anymore or the ranges for my halberd thing I was using. I'm going to be so terrible. I'm not going to know when to use barricade shield. It's going to suck.
And on top of it, I hope we both are smart and had saves before we beat the game. Because if you ended the game and you don't have a save any longer from before, you have to play the entire game before you can play the DLC again.
Yeah, I definitely, well, obviously we both beat it, but I know it was like, hey, do you want to just continue right away? And I went, no thanks. And it said you could do this whenever. So I know mine is definitely, I still have a free roam because I was in the Hallig
Tree of Hygel or whatever.
Yeah, I was in the Hallig Tree when you were just about to finish up. So
yeah, I think I did too because I want to go to the Hallig Tree, and I went to the Hallig Tree or whatever the hell it's called. And I think then, of course, I went, okay, neat, cool, and then I stopped playing. So I suspect I'm okay. You suspect you're okay. So I think we're both fine. But that did give me a scare. I went, did I just push okay, cool for no reason, just because I never intend to play it again? And I'm like, if I did, I'll never experience this DLC because I'm not going to play this game again.
No, I know the kind of player you are, Eric. You would have gone, no, I'm going to go back and do some stuff before I finish.
Yeah.
So you would have definitely done that.
I think so too. So I think we're fine. We're both going to get in there. Check out the brand new Elden Ring. Are we going to play together? We always say we will, and we did like twice, but who knows? Maybe this time we'll do it more together, or we won't.
So closing out the main topics of the show, we got something I don't know anything about because it was in Game Informer. Oh, it was GameSpot. Oh, GameSpot. I didn't even read that. I read the show notes and I thought it was Game Informer. And I went, Eric's going to show us this cool article from his magazine. But no, GameSpot had an article talking about a survey their parent company did on gaming. And one question of many was main reasons people want to play games. Eric, you're the man on this one. I'm sorry. If I had realized it was GameSpot, I would have read it and done my due diligence, but I didn't.
You didn't even
I'm
read
lazy.
it.
I was buying stuff on Whatnot, man. I got like 50 Famicom consoles coming to my house. What do you want from me?
The worst human being ever. So yes, GameSpot put up an article that Fandom went ahead and apparently does every year. I'm sure I've probably seen it at some point in time. But they go ahead and ask a bunch of their player base, user base, throughout the year, these different questions, and then, of course, give you the statistics behind them. And one of the big questions is, what's your motivation for playing games? What's the main reason people play games? And, of course, the number one reason was to relieve stress. And so the second, which is 10% up from last year, is creation, imagination, and self-expression. And then it goes on, down. You got achievement and rank. You got social connection and community to escape, challenge, to kill time, exploration, intellectual stimulation, competition, control, and ownership. All right. Those are all the different reasons people play video games, according to this study. And of course, at the top, like I already said, was to unwind and get stress relief. So I was like, you know what? Matt, why do you play video games? Is it just that one thing? Do you have a combination of these things? I guess, is it all of them? Do you have one that's dominant over the others? Because unwind and stress relief isn't really up there for me. It's kind of like a third one, really.
Yeah, I mean, when I play games, I do unwind, and it does let me forget about anything that's happening in the real life that is stressing me out. But I'm not like, I'm going to go home and play games to get rid of my stress. I feel like it'd be hard for me to put a finger on like the main reason why you play video games is I just do. Like, that's what I do. That is who I am and what I do. They're fun. I have fun. I think all of these are a little bit of it. Competition, sure, whether it's me against the computer or me, us on a team against some goobers. Exploration, obviously I love the open world games. I love doing that stuff. Challenge, we're both playing Souls-likes right now, having a good time with those. Kind of to escape, I think would maybe be it, but I don't.
Escape would probably be my highest one.
But I don't like actively think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd come home and what I do is I play video games. It makes me feel good and it intellectually stimulates me, whether it's just from exploring a different world or like actively thinking about a puzzle or a combat scenario. But I don't I need to escape into the world of video games. I just do it. I don't know. Does that make any sense? Do you have one that sticks out for you?
No, it's sort of the same with me. I would say to escape's probably the biggest. It allows me just to get into a game, don't think about nothing. I'm just in this world having a good time. That's why I love RPGs, is because now it's almost like reading a book. I'm just interacting. I'm watching these characters go through drama, go through, struggles and having a good time here and there. So I'd say that's probably the biggest one. But just like you said, it's not like I actively go, oh, I got to get home so I can escape. Oh, I got to escape this reality, go to a different world. That's not what I do. It's the same with unwind and stress relief. Yeah, it does allow me to unwind and chill out for the most part. But I'm not, and I don't want to say this like aggressively, I'm not stupid. I know that my problems in life are still here.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm like, yay, I'm stress-free. No, I'm not. I know that's the second the game turns off, I still have to deal with work. I still have to deal with whatever problems there are.
Yeah, this afternoon I still got to go get my oil changed or fix that thing or go talk to that guy about that money. But for now, I have some free time, so I'm going to play a game.
I'm going to play this game and enjoy it. But it's not like I get relief because I know I still have to do all the stuff. It's not magic. It's not going away. So that one's tough. I get it. And then, of course, creation, imagination, self-expression, that doesn't vibe with me at all. I'm playing somebody else's creation and their imagination. And I don't play any games because that was another big point. A lot of people said that they love in-game personalizations, being able to change who they are and they get to be their character and do stuff, which we just talked about.
We were just the dress-up boys. Come on now.
And I guess to an extent that's true. I love, decking my characters out, how I want them to be and how would I want them. Like, I always pick my cool female party so I can get my harem going. It's fun. That's it. So I guess there's something in that.
And I was the same boat. I was like, I'm not that into it, but just talking about it. Oh, hey, what did I do in Red Dead Redemption 2? I wore my hat and my clothes and used my guns and rode my horse. That's my guy. So even though he's not my character, he's not me, but that's my Arthur Morgan. This is my Pinocchio and Liza P. I get it. It's there too.
Yeah. So overall, I'm just in the same boat you are, basically, but maybe a couple of those changing out. But it's a little bit of all of them for me. I guess Escape would probably be the biggest influence. Just to, what, boom, I'm in this world. Oh, there we go. I'm just going to live here for a little bit.
I feel like the easiest answer, and it's not on here because it's all of these are facets of it, is just have fun. Mm-hmm. Like if you ask me the same thing about, hey, why do you go see the movies? I don't know. Well, I like them to see a cool movie. Why do you listen to music? Because I like it and it's fun. Why do you go see a show? It's fun. I don't know. It's weird to narrow it down, but I think all of us have some aspects of this. So this isn't the end of the show, but what about you there, listeners? What is your main thing if you had to pick? What are your top reasons of why you game? I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
I mean, I know like Howard plays Minecraft a lot. What aspect of this
keeps him coming in?
Yeah, keeps you into it.
I want to hear that too. And there one other bit I really kind of want to talk about here, Matt, is I feel like this is something where the newer generation that's way more prevalent. This is definitely a newer generation thing than is an older one. And maybe I'm wrong, but you'll see what you think. 80% of those who were surveyed claim that their gamer personality is different than their IRL personality. That was one. And then the second statistic was 64% of the player base talked about thinks it is easier to be themselves online than it is to be themselves in person. And neither one of these made any hit with me. Like, I've never changed who I am online versus what I am in real life. I've never even thought to do that. An in-game, like an in-game personality for like playing, it's never crossed my mind once in my life. And then an easier to be themselves online and in person. Once again, I just am who I am. I've never thought that it's like easier, like talking to people online. To me, it's just as awkward as it is in real life. There's nothing better. And in fact, I like it better in real life because I feel like you can see my face and I can kind of give you a more accurate description of what I'm thinking or doing or trying to get across. Whereas when I'm doing it online, you're going strictly off my voice. And sometimes that doesn't give you the message I think it does. So there's room for confusion. So if anything, I think it's more awkward to get those online relationships going than it is real life ones.
Well, I will say I agree with you to some extent, but I'll give you some devil's advocate points here. And for the gamer personality is different from your IRL personality. I come at it from like Grand Theft Auto perspective. Like, oh man, I don't care what I'm doing. I'm running down every single person on the street. I'm making all the bad person decisions, even though in real life I would never do that. I'm in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I'm choking everybody out. I'm playing evil. I'm playing dark side. I mean, you've heard that from people like Brent. I can only play an angel. I could never do anything bad. But realistically, people have that disconnect of like, it's just pixels. I don't care. I'll play a bad playthrough. But some people can't do that. Like with some games, I can't do that. I could never go back and do the evil run of Undertale. Not possible. So maybe that's what people are saying.
I know what you're saying. And no, they're saying that the gamer, when they're interacting with other players, they take on a persona. They don't have to just be themselves. So they take on a persona while interacting with other players in like Fortnite or Call of Duty or whatever game it is that they're playing with people. They'll take on a different persona. And like I said, to me, I was like, well, I've never even thought that that's a thing. That's crazy.
Well, I feel like that does sound a little weird to me, but I feel like it's easier for me to be more confident when it's not in person. So I guess I kind of get it from some extent. Mm-hmm. But like I can be more confident and abrasive when it's just, maybe not the voice, but it's just Bingo Bongo 1872 that I'm playing with versus, hey, I'm going to go and hang out with the people from work and, oh, I thought of this really cool joke, but I kind of moved on. I don't know.
I get it, but it's just, for me, it was never there. And I was like, oh, maybe that's just a kind of a younger generational thing. Because, we've heard through the grapevine that kids these days are more online, more talking on their phones, more interacting that route than actually just looking someone eye to eye and talking. So I was like, oh, okay, I can completely understand this, the way everything seems to be going, which I'm out of the loop. So who knows if I'm accurate in that or not. But for me, it just, I don't know, never even thought about it. It just seems weird to me to be like, I'm going to play Call of Duty. Yeah, man, I'm a Call of Duty guy. No, I would just do what I always do. All right, yeah, that's cool, man. I'm going to head over to Bravo if you want to help. Neat.
I think maybe I do have a little bit of that because, like, I don't know, when it's just like texts or just voice chat even, it feels different for me than just going up to say to you to break your balls about something, which, I mean, we do that, no problem. But it's easier when there's a little bit of a screen, there's a little bit of a disconnect. I don't know. And you're right, this presentation is like really cool. So I wish I had seen this beforehand because it's like presented well, it's got cool art, and it's colorful, and
yeah, they add a lot of stuff and they make it fun to actually check out. So there's a bunch more to this, and we could go on and on. But of course, the episode has already gone on and on. So you're going to have to look at this yourself. Like I said, over on Fandom, it's up there. They've got all sorts of fun statistics via the player base and whatever, user base, whatever you want to call it. And I just thought it was pretty neat. Something we could, definitely chat about a little bit.
And speaking of pretty neat, it's time for the newest segment because we got answers to the trivia question. People got it wrong. People got it right. Let me know, people who have answered the questions and are participating in the newest trivia segment, Uncle Matt's Trivia Corner, whether you would like me to tell you like what the leaderboards are? Because like I said, I've been keeping track of points. People have earned points. People have not earned points. There's one person who earned a negative point. So if you'd like me to announce it like every show or like save it at the end of the year and tell people how many points they got, I feel like the end of the year thing is a little better because you're like, oh man, all these, who's ahead, who's behind. Now I will say the answer to the last trivia question, because now it's too late to answer it. It was Mirror's Edge. So 2 of you have gotten it right so far. Like I said, a certain person cheated. So if you cheat, you get a negative point. Those are the rules now. But we have the next question, and this is a multifaceted question. The card I'm holding has a typo on it. So if you answer me with the typo in your answer, I will know that you like extra cheated and you'll get negative 2 points. But on top of that, the answer to this question also has the titles of the characters in it. So if you give me the titles also without cheating, you'll get double points. So now we're actually ready to ask the question. And I wouldn't know this other than cultural osmosis. The question is, in Dark Souls, which infamous duo must be defeated in order for the player character to obtain the Lord Vessel? Now, I'll give you, it's not a hint, but forget all the other details. There's a very famous duo in Dark Souls that you have to fight. And that's the only reason I know the names. But if you can think of that and know that, there's 2 names that you fight in Dark Souls. That's the only hint I'll give you.
Man, I don't know. Lord of Light and Lord of Darkness.
That's not it. I'm sorry.
Damn it. It's wrong every day. God.
The answer is... You've heard of that, right? Maybe? No?
No,
okay.
Not at all.
I've listened to too many video essays, so it's like ingrained in my head.
Nah. Mm-hmm.
With all that cut from the show, drop it in the Discord, in the Twitter. I got a Twitter DM with an answer, so drop it in there. Howard, come see me in real life. Write me a letter, write me a note. If you want to send us any kind of feedback, even belated feedback, on episode 400 like our buddy Howard did. Now, Howard is he's a wordsmith. He's a
connoisseur of the page.
He's a connoisseur of the page. I like. He's a loquacious gentleman. So rather than me reading it out in my humble attempts to do justice to his prose, as they say in Hamilton,
I'll let him tell it.
Hey everyone. For a change of pace, I'm going to keep this short. So in that spirit of brevity, I would like to say congratulations, Eric and Matt, on your 400th episode. Confused? That is perfectly understandable. This is outside the norm for me. My contributions to the show are typically a little longer. More on that later. The truth is, I have much more to say here, but I thought it would make Matt's life easier if he just wanted to edit the rest of this out. Still here? Great. I must admit that I knew in advance that our friends Matt and Eric would make it to 400 episodes, just as we all know that they're going to keep us entertained for another 400. Spoiler alert, future Eric has already sent me some of those episodes from the post-apocalyptic future, so I already know just how good they're going to be. You're all going to love smart glasses, by the way. Moving on, I even wanted to try to do something big for the show, just to let them know how much I appreciate everything they've done for our listening community. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So instead, in my head, I turned it all around. I had really hoped that for the 400th episode, things would be just awful. That way, I wouldn't feel as guilty about not turning in my submission. Selfish of me, I know. Even so, it didn't matter. The truth, as it turns out, is not the case. Once again, Eric and Matt came through with a very good episode, which is something all of us in the listening community should stop and think about. Each week, Matt and Eric have given us something to look forward to. A chance to check in with our friends and find out how they're doing and catch up on the latest gaming news. And they've made that possible 400 times. When was the last time any of us have done anything that many times? Yet here we are, and for that they deserve our gratitude along with our congratulations. So thank you, Eric and Matt, for all you do. Now I'd like to go back to something I said earlier. I mentioned contributions. I wanted to do something big, but I missed the mark. However, it's not too late. For the first time, I went from a passive listener to an active participant. I am now a Patreon subscriber. I am taking steps to not only ensure that there will be another 400 episodes, but that it will be a little easier for Matt and Eric to keep it going. And I would like to invite and challenge my fellow listeners to do the same. Contribute. And not only will you be doing your part, but you'll be rewarded with even more content from our favorite 2 podcasters. Who could ask for more than that? Again, Congratulations and a big thank you for giving us 400 great memories we've made with Third Shift.
Thanks, buddy. You made me feel so good. My heart has lifted up 1 ounce. I appreciate it so much. You're the best.
My heart grew 3 sizes this day. We do appreciate you, Howard. We appreciate listening all the time. We appreciate you being a new patron. So if you want to join in with some stuff like Howard did, send that to the email, thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine at ThirdShiftME. Find us on Facebook on the Third Shift. Hit up the Discord, the Patreon. Hit up my house. Knock on the door. I won't answer it, but you can shout congratulations through the closed door, and I'll go, thanks, guy. See you later. And then you'll leave, and then I'll be like, oh, God, I was scared. I didn't have to open the door. I wish I was more like my in-game personality than my real-life personality. Whew.
Could have fixed everything if you'd done that. Or you could just be like me and just be crazy all the time, no matter what, and not even care. You know what else you could do when you're not caring? Head over to Patreon and go, I want to give these guys my money, even though I shouldn't. And you do it just like Howard did. Boom, boom. And we go, woohoo! We could pay bills and we can keep things going. Matt just talked about wanting to upgrade from Audacity to a new system. Well, with your help, we could do that easily with no issue instead of having to go, well, how do we figure this one out? Can we financially do this without having to tap into this one? These things could be possible by you, the listener. If, though, you say, I just can't, it's not possible, that's fine. Because you can do mailbag questions for us. You can answer that wonderful question we asked you earlier about, hey, what inspires you to play some video games? How are you having fun? We want to hear back from you on that particular subject. You can go ahead and give us some more belated 400th episode wishes and thanks, etc. Any of those things helps us out, makes us feel good. We have a good time with it. You have a good time with it, and we love it.
And I'm here to save the day, too, because we got 2 mailbag questions that came right after our 400th episode. But this episode has already run long, so I'm keeping them. Those 2, they're in the shotgun. They're loaded up. They're ready, but now the bear is not coming around the corner. The bear went all the way away, so we don't need to fire him yet, but we'll be firing him soon. Don't you worry. I'm easing the hammer back with my thumb, and you might hear the answer to those mailbag questions on the next episode, which will be dropping on or around the 29th or the 30th. Hey, I'm so out of it that I thought this was Thursday. If you're dropping on around the 30th, who knows when we record that episode? Who knows? But it'll be dropping on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing and like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, a review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any one of those good services, because it does help us out, and we really do appreciate it.
We do indeed, just like we appreciate that 5-star review. Come on, folks. We already just told you it's 400 episodes. Get out there. We want to see thousands of them. You know what? Steve said it. He said it, not me. We need thousands of 5-star reviews, all right? So y'all got work to do. And I expect the best from you. I know you can do it. You got the power to do it. You know, the Lord Savior Satan's in your soul. Get out there and do what you need to do. He's not. I don't know. He's not. But you can do it anyway.
And with that, there's nothing else to say but...
Shut up and sit down.